Okay, you've got the insurance guy here. I'm glad to be here for our podcast. This is exciting. This is, I believe, 161. Am I right? No, it's not, but I always come up with some number, but it's there. And I was told to certainly mention this is Life Insurance Awareness Month. And that's important. It's not a dead issue. So think about life insurance out there. And I wanted to certainly say, I've been asked by a few people to bring on, at least we've had guests before, but this particular guest, the guest that I have today, people have been clamoring for, if you will. And what is that? I've got with me today, I've got Tryphina Wiseman and Alexis Nelson from Wiseman Mortuary. And this is going to be an exciting session because we're going to talk about things that we don't want to talk about but should. And I've got some questions that have been put forth to be answered by the professionals in the business of funeral homes. But before we get into that and some questions, let me just pose some questions, at least some things that you have an idea of what's going on here. Tryphina Wiseman has been in business since age 1, and it might even go back further than that. And with that being said, she was brought up in the business. Then the individual Alexis Nelson takes care of, and I guess you've been with the company how long now, Alexis?
Almost 2 years now.
Almost 2 years.
Almost
okay.
2 years.
Okay. And on your side, you take care of the cremation.
Yes. So
okay.
I manage
All
the
right,
crematory.
Thank you. I just wanted to bring that out because there are two sides to the business. We've got the burial side, and then we have the cremation side. And correct me, ladies, if I'm incorrect by saying that, but they are different.
Correct.
You have some individuals that when they get cremated, they want to be buried?
Yes.
They do.
Right. Correct.
So are they paying twice?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just work with me now. Just work with me.
Okay.
You'll have fun with this. Believe me. I hope you do. And because those things come up, people ask these questions.
Right.
But I'm going to ask some general questions at this particular time.
Okay.
How did you become a funeral director? And I already know the answer. Let me go. I go back. I go back years as far as working together. And she is really a person's person. And many people don't know that because you see her in a different light, if you will. But she's really a terrific person. She loves to have fun. You wouldn't believe it. In fact, some of the funerals that she's had, right after that, she'll go to a party. Okay, work with me, try.
I got you.
I have people that ask me, who would I recommend? And instead of me saying Wiseman Funeral Home, if you will, I say try Wiseman. Try Wiseman? Yeah, try Wiseman. Well, is that a funeral home? Well, the name of it is Wiseman Mortuary, but try Wiseman. Mm-hmm. Can I sincerely try Wiseman? How long are we going to go through this? It's like a circle. Try Wiseman. Just stop there. Go call her. No, before you go, I'll give you the number. Okay. So let's get to the question here again. How did you become a funeral director?
Well, my parents started the business in 1970. My father used to actually work for the Garris Funeral Home that was located back then across from the train station. And my father died when I was just turning 16 years of age. My mother was a nurse at Cape Fear Valley Hospital. So during that time, they would let you out of school to work what they call work study because my grades were good enough. So I would go to school half the day and run the funeral home the other half.
Of course they were good grades. I already know that. They were super grades, I'm sure.
Right. So after doing that till I turned 18 and graduated, then I went to Fayetteville Tech to become a licensed funeral director and mortician. And from there, the rest is history.
I'll be. Well, at that time, when you went to Fayetteville Tech, It's a little bit different now.
Oh, yes.
Back then, they just gave you a shovel. Now you have to go through some coursework. Is that
Right, exactly.
Okay, I just want to make
Exactly.
sure.
When I came along, it was a lot of hands-on training.
Okay.
But now it's more books and what did you just say? What'd you call it?
Just stuff.
Yeah, stuff. Right, that's a good way of putting it. There's a lot of stuff that goes
yeah.
with it now.
And can you do this in a semester, or what they call a semester now?
No, it's a 2-year program. Some areas of the United States, it's a 1-year program. But here at Fayetteville Tech, it's a 2-year program, and you have to do a year's apprenticeship with a funeral home.
Okay. Well, I'm going to switch a little bit here
Okay.
with the crematorium. Is it the same coursework? Because it's the same, is it? Because at this particular point, all you're doing is burning people.
A little bit more than that,
Okay.
however.
All right.
So I'm a licensed mortician as well, so I have that same 2-year education with the apprenticeship on top.
Okay.
But specifically to become crematory operator certified, it's actually just a credit hour course. So I believe it's 8 credit hours that total.
Right.
So you can actually log on online, sign up to take the class, and you can be licensed within a few days.
Right.
Just specifically to run a crematory. That does not include any of the funeral directing or embalming or other things involved in
Right.
funeral service,
Understood.
but specifically to run the machine.
Okay. I'm going to jump a little bit here and just ask, because I've got some things. I got one thing that just happened. Today is Tuesday. I believe it was Friday. And I had a lady to call me. Actually, it was a beneficiary. She didn't know. She was trying to locate some things in her, actually, this is a granddaughter. She was trying to locate some things for her grandmother.
Okay.
And with this being said, at that time when she was notified, she did not realize that her grandmother put her in charge of everything. Now here's a young lady, 23,
Right.
and she's got to take care of the house, putting it up, that sort of thing, going through all the belongings. Do you run into this at all?
We do, yes.
Quite a bit?
I won't say it's quite a bit, but a lot of times the person that think they're in charge is not the person that's legally in charge.
Do they get mad at you too? Because they get mad at me.
Yes,
Okay,
they do.
I was just wondering.
They do.
Okay.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
And a lot of times we're finding out at the same time they're finding out.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Beneficiaries have changed over the years. One person thought they were beneficiary, but somewhere the actual insured changed it without telling anyone.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah. I get that. I had a client that every time she got mad at someone in the family, she would change the beneficiary.
Right. I have a client that does that too.
Yeah.
About every year he changes his beneficiaries and he brings me a copy.
Right.
Because he's changed it. Yes.
It's an interesting situation there. And there's nothing you can do about it
No,
because they're the owner of the policy.
Right.
And,
And then what people must understand is because you're the beneficiary under North Carolina law, that's your money.
yeah.
They do not have to bury you with it. That's that person's money to do what they want to with.
Isn't that
And we've
something?
run across that also.
Right.
The beneficiary took the money and kept going.
Kept going.
And it's back on the
and
family
Right.
to
The family is
has
there.
to ante up.
Have to do that.
Yes.
GoFundMe.
I tell people don't put money in GoFundMe. Bring it straight to the funeral home.
Oh.
There again, people don't realize a GoFundMe is whoever sets it up. That's their money.
So that person gets the money.
That person gets the money. And a lot of times the money doesn't make it to where it belongs.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
amazing.
And
Thank you
people
for that.
think that they can pull it out like today.
Mm-hmm.
No, it takes GoFundMe a week or more before you get the check. Most time the funeral's over with.
Uh-huh.
Or whatever activity that GoFundMe was set up is over with. So that's that person's money.
All right. Well, this happened to me personally. My dad died, and my sister was actually, it's just the two of us. Okay. I said, "You take care of everything. You go ahead and do it." And the funeral home at that time was not going to perform the service until they got paid.
Correct.
And because I deal with this, I can see that being a problem. but my sister just went off. She
right.
just went off. Well, where are we going? I said, hey, just be still.
Yes.
We'll get it done.
Right.
And but they can't bury Dad with, well, I tell you what, we'll bury him somehow.
Right.
You get it. Well, I knew what was going to happen,
Yes,
but
yes.
it's interesting talking to people about this stuff, and you go through it.
Right.
Really.
And people feel that the funeral home is not being compassionate. It's a business. Even though we are compassionate, it's still
what
a
is it?
business.
What is it?
It's a business.
So are you saying that business has to pay electric bill, water bill?
Correct. I
They
have
to-
all the same bills you have.
Okay.
Insurance.
Employees?
Yes.
We want the insurance.
Right.
part.
Yeah, we want the insurance.
Yeah, workers'
But
comp.
yeah, it's a bill. I have workers' comp. I have salaries to meet on Friday.
Yeah.
It's a business.
It's amazing.
And what has happened over the years, when my father and parents, my mother started the business, it was a simple handshake. You know, people kept their word. It's a different generation now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You cannot go on a handshake.
Well, yours is particularly difficult because I know that you're in the community.
Right.
You see people like I do at these events, things come up,
Right.
and they're expecting, I use that term loosely, they're expecting when something occurs, you're going to just follow right through with no problem, no money, and then everything else. And that's not going to happen.
I can follow through and help, but I just can't do a total of no money.
No money.
That doesn't work.
No money.
Yeah.
All right. Good deal.
Because
All right.
there's merchandise that they have selected that has to be paid before the funeral.
Okay.
So, yeah. I
Now-
can work with you.
When you said things have to be paid, and that made me think and about this because I wanted to have some things here to this afternoon, and there may be a part two to this, but there's all kinds of things now that individuals can get
Right.
during an event, calling this an event, but that will make the let's say the individuals feel better about what's going on, if I can use that term. And I understand there's lockets that people can get to
Yes.
keep remains
in,
stuff
yes.
like that. I think that was very unique when I saw that. Very unique. The urns and things like that.
Right, correct.
People wear necklaces. And,
Rings, bracelets.
Yeah. And
Anything.
anything. Yeah.
Yes.
I find that interesting because if you have a person remarries and the person has their, let's say their wife around their neck and as a brooch or something like that, then the new wife gets upset. You're always carrying her around. They get
Correct.
mad.
Yes.
So that's a little bit of levity there, but that person's always with them.
Right.
And do we want that?
Yes. And
We
with
do?
the new designs,
Yeah.
you don't even have to know that they're around your neck. You just
Okay.
think it's a nice heart or a nice stone of some
Yeah.
type. You don't even have to know.
To me, that would be something that
Yes,
people
yes.
really need to get. What you got, Nicole?
One thing as well is pretty fascinating. There's even companies, if you want something that is completely inconspicuous, they actually will take pearls and they drill a hole into the pearl and place a small portion of the remains inside. They seal it off and it looks like you're wearing a pearl necklace, pearl earrings. You can have cremated remains turned into diamonds and sapphires, things like that. It's just colored diamonds as well.
Different level. It's
different-
amazing what's happened.
You would
Right.
never know.
You would never know.
Some of the stuff we have on display, it looks just like evening wear jewelry, and sure enough, there's a little screw on the bottom.
So
It's
again-
fascinating.
Well, this is good. Alexa, she just made a plug here, if I can use that terminology. You need to come down before anything happens and check out the information, or at least the display at Wiseman Mortuary.
Yes.
And it's, you're not have to buy anything, but the point is you'll see what's available. And that's really great. That's really great from that standpoint. Got a question here again. Do you find more families are looking at cremation as opposed to burials, or vice versa?
The market is changing. Our rate now is probably 90% burial, 10% cremation.
Okay.
But in some of the larger states, it's 50-50 or even more cremations than that, than burials.
Okay.
Burial grounds are transitioning.
What are they doing with burial ground?
They're getting full.
Oh,
They're getting full.
Okay.
You know, just prime example, Main Post Cemetery, it's full. The traditional North Side Cemetery in Fayetteville, it's full. So the grounds are becoming extinct. And then the cost is rising so high. The least expensive grave space in Cumberland County is running $1,500.
wow. Okay.
So just to buy a 8 by
Piece of dirt.
piece of dirt.
Piece of dirt.
Yes, $1,500.
So it would behoove people listening to us today, particularly you,
Right.
is to come down and talk and actually establish something now instead of waiting. Because
Correct.
what you are looking for later may not be available. And that's something else.
Right.
That's an amazing situation. Yeah. Good, good. I asked you earlier about theme funerals. You know, there's a lot of, we got theme weddings. So
Yes.
are there theme funerals, you know? Fantastic Four, some type of party. I don't know. Are there things, people come up with some crazy things they want to do during the wedding or during the funeral or even
cremation.
after
Yes.
the funeral?
Yes.
Are there things?
There are themed funerals, firefighters, police officers, rappers. There are
Rappers.
things, children, you know, they have Elmo and Mickey Mouse. There are themes that go with funerals, not as many in the adult arena
Sure.
as in the younger crowd. But there are themes, yes.
So the participants should come out in those garments, then, are you saying? Or
That can be done.
That can be done.
We can make anything happen at a cost.
at a cost?
At a cost. We can make
Okay.
anything happen.
Okay.
Yes.
So that tells us that there needs to be a theme funeral, and there has to be characters. That means after the funeral, you wear the costume home.
Correct.
Okay.
You know, I have a friend in California. He buried someone that was an airline stewardess. And I think now they're called flight attendants.
Right.
But his staff, they dressed up as the airlines, the blazer and the gray pants, and they walked around with peanuts. You know, years ago, you used to pass out peanuts on the plane.
Sure.
And that was one thing that kind of stuck with me. And I thought it was a cute idea
Right.
that they did to honor that deceased that was an airline stewardess.
All right.
Yeah.
Super. Okay. Let me see if there's something else that I need to gravitate to. And I was just curious again here. What advice would you give families who want to pre-plan their funeral, besides come see you?
We have a pre-planning specialist that works at our office. She's pretty much there daily, Monday through Friday, and she can meet with you, go over your desires, and give you a plan that is within your budget. And she also has done classes and seminars around Cumberland County. So if you're able to catch one of those, you know, that's a good idea also. And since it's Insurance Awareness Month, I tell people to pull those policies out, especially if you have older relatives.
Okay.
You know, they bought the policy 50 years ago, and it's $1,000.
Thank you.
Years ago, $1,000 would take care of a funeral. But you know how our grandparents and aunts and uncles are, stay out of my business.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to get in their business because it's going to be a burden upon the family. $1,000, that won't even buy the cemetery lot at this day and age.
Right.
So pull them out. You know, a lot of them, the husband or wife was the beneficiary and it never got changed over 50 years, that's a problem now.
That's a problem.
That's a problem. That money will go to someone's estate or it's going to draw out the process. And that's a lot of reasons that the funeral home has to be paid up front. We can't wait because your papers are not in order. So it's best to pull them out, look at them, total them up and see if you at least have $5,000 or more. But yeah, I think that's something we need to bring more awareness to, are those insurance policies.
That's very, very true. You said some things there that's very important for the mere fact we are not reviewing our paperwork.
Yes.
We're not reviewing it.
Yes.
And it's so simple. I advise clients to, and I've said it on air, that you really need to pull out your information twice a year, at least twice a year. And you can do it around a picnic or Christmas time, but it needs to be pulled out. And some things need to happen with that. That's pretty darn important. You don't want to wait until you see Try and you're looking at it for the first time in a number of years. That's just not the time to look at it and so forth. So
And let me bring awareness to a case that recently happened at the funeral home. The parents thought they had insurance on their children. Their children dropped off at the age of 21.
Yeah.
It didn't keep going.
Yeah.
So there they were around the conference table without insurance that they thought they had on their children because they hadn't pulled it out in years and thought the child was still covered, but the child dropped off at age 21 or
good
different
point.
ages.
I've said this on the air before. Depending on the company, it could be 18, it could be 19, could be 21, could be 23, 24. 24 is going to be the longest that they can go, but it really depends on the company. And I'm interested to some degree because my producer already knows where I'm going with this, but what was your face like when you found that out, or when the parents found that out? Were they?
It was a shock.
Yeah.
It was a shock, and it hurt me that I had to tell them.
Yeah.
We need a plan B for payment, and they're looking at me like, why? And then I had to, pull out the fine print that they never looked at. Most policies are. Some of them are 30, 50 pages, and people don't read the fine print.
Right. Yeah. Well, it puts me in a position because I'll be reading things from people, at least people that come see me. I'd like you to take a look at this.
Right.
And things come up. Well, Jerome, you're the oldest person I know that's been doing this. So I guess it lands on me, but they haven't talked to someone. So I'm encouraging those individuals that are looking at this and those individuals that know they need to be talking to somebody, you need to check this out. You really do. You have a firsthand knowledge, and you'd be doing those individuals that know you and to at least tell them what they need to be doing, and hopefully they'll stand with it and go with it. That's pretty important.
And can we do one more? It
Go
just
right
came
ahead.
to me. I'm sorry.
No. Keep going.
To a parent that has children. You may say, my son and daughter are married and they have their own lives. If they should get divorced and they have no children or minor children, the responsibility flips back to the parent. And a lot of parents are not aware or prepared for that. Yeah. So just because your child is grown and married, moved on, don't drop the insurance. Yeah. If you can afford to keep paying it, keep paying it, because you never know what's going to happen in the long run.
You never know.
Right.
That's it. You never know. It's an amazing situation. Amazing. So, anything else that comes to mind at all? I know you're a fountain of information. You really
I would like Alexis to tell you about cremation, because there's different types of cremation.
No. I didn't know that.
People don't realize.
No, I didn't know that. Go with Alexis.
So a lot of people think that cremation is just cut and dry, no services, no funeral, nothing. And there's so much more that we're able to do to personalize a cremation for you.
Alexis.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So we do.
Speak a little louder.
Sorry about that.
No.
So we do offer direct cremation through Wiseman and through the crematory separately as well. Direct cremation is going to be typically your lowest cost option. But let's say you want to still have a funeral. You still want to have, or a memorial service. You don't want people to see your physical body, but you want a portrait of yourself or, some of your favorite memorabilia on a table with your urn. You're still able to have those things. You're still able to have a full traditional funeral as well. As a licensed embalmer, I'm also able to have a full traditional funeral where you are in the casket. We have a ceremony. You're able to have a viewing, visitation, and the cremation still follows after that. And it's still a very affordable option to be able to do those things, to be able to still have that service, to have the gathering of the friends and family, to have people say their last goodbyes without it just being, okay, well, the cremation started, we're done. There's so much more and so many more options to personalize to you, to your family, to your kids, to your loved ones, to the friends, to the community. You're able to literally do just as much for a funeral as you are a cremation and still have that cremation at the end. Because a lot of people don't want to go in, they don't want to be buried in the ground. They don't want to be enclosed in the dirt, things like that. That's a scary thing for some people. So cremation allows you to have that traditional funeral and still be taken home by your loved ones, scattered at your favorite park per EPA guidelines.
Okay, that's good.
Legally per EPA guidelines. But you're still able to do all those things that you love and all those things that you love about a funeral and still have more than just a burial at the end. You can be split up between your family. We've had services where we have 15 or 20 necklaces at the end, and every single person got to take home a necklace with a piece of their loved one. And, those things become heirlooms. Those things get passed down. If at some point you realize there's no one to pass that down to, you can scatter your loved one from that necklace, things like that, to continue those memories.
That's great. That's great. And so during the cremation process, not the process, but during that period when they're in the auditorium, is that what you call it?
We have a chapel.
Chapel. We have a
yes.
chapel. I guess you would have a choir maybe, or even Frankie Beverly singing
Yes.
We Are One.
We do. We Bluetooth it in, yes.
Okay, we'll do that. That's good
we
stuff.
Bluetooth it in.
Okay.
But people don't realize they may want something simple, but their family and friends still need some type of closure.
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be real elaborate, but as Alexis has said, a photo, a urn, the pastor say 1 or 2 words, it's closure.
Okay.
It's closure. It doesn't have to be anything an hour, 2 hours. We've had some very nice services in 20 minutes, but it gave that family closure.
Okay. Well, you've heard it from Tryphina in the sense that, and the idea of providing these services and guidelines that Wiseman can and they will do the traditional, which a lot of people in Cumberland County
Yes.
flock to, the traditional.
We're still traditional.
But you have those individuals also that would like to depart from that. That is something they can do also, from that. So you take care of all genres. Is it
Yes.
it's safe to say?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's good. That's fantastic. That's good stuff. Good. Anything else that comes to mind, Tryphina? Anything else?
Just quickly touch on veterans a little bit, since Fayetteville is a military town.
Good.
Gentlemen, please put your DD 214 somewhere that your wife or spouse can find it.
Would you repeat that?
Oh, please have the DD 214 so that your family member, spouse can find it. The National Archives, they tell veterans that we can get it in 24 hours. That does not happen. It could be weeks or months after the funeral before we receive a DD 214. Mm-hmm. So please put that somewhere, make extra copies of it and have it somewhere that it can be found. Veterans, please stop telling your families that the VA or the military is going to bury me. That does not happen. only if you are active duty.
Maybe they got a lot of friends and they can come get the body. How's that?
I don't think that's against
That's
that's against
not
rules
gonna
and regulations
work.
to
That
come
will
get
not
it.
work. I
No,
just
that will
thought-
not work.
Okay.
But a lot of times the loved one is sitting around the table with us and they said, "Oh, we thought the military was going to bury him." You are entitled to a grave space in a military cemetery, but all the additional cost are the families. There may be some reimbursements. Every veteran does not receive reimbursements. But there again, that's an application, that's a process.
And
Everyone knows how slow the military
it's gonna take a
works.
while.
That could take a while. That
Take a
could
while.
take a while. So you need to have other preparations if you are a veteran that is not active duty. The military will not bury you.
Isn't that something? I don't even have words for that. I really don't, because we are under the assumption
Right.
that everything is taken care of.
Care of, yeah.
And it's not.
Nope.
It's not. If I get back to that. Please, go right ahead.
And even with active duty, the military does not pay for everything, all expenses included. That is not something they do either. Their cost is, I believe the military for active duty persons will pay $10,500 plus transport. That does not include any drinks, beverages, repast, food, things like that. So even in today's society, with an active duty funeral, that still cannot cover all the cost for certain choices and for certain families and what they choose to do.
I'll be. So I guess you're saying also, if the person's not active duty, they're going to have to re-enlist. Is that no? I'm out.
In
off
order
again?
to get that funeral paid for,
Okay,
yes.
I'm just wondering.
Yes.
I'm wondering. So
Yeah, and talking about cost, in Cumberland County, cremations are running anywhere from $695 and up, and funerals are running anywhere from $6,000 and up. And a lot of people tell us, "Oh, I didn't know." Well, on TV, you have the AARP ads and the Social Security ads.
that gets
and-
you too, huh?
Yes,
It
yes,
does. It
yes.
gets me too.
Right. We're trying to, there are preparations and there are announcements that are letting you know how much these costs are. So, and even in the newspaper, there's flyers from Globe Life and Colonial Pen
Yeah.
that tell you how much the average cost of a funeral is going to run. So I think it's not fair for people to say, "I didn't know."
Yeah.
That means you're watching no TV, you're reading no advertisements, no type of books or literature for you to make that kind of comment.
Right. Didn't know. Didn't know.
Yeah.
All right. Super. That's good. You had something?
The internet tells everything now.
Yeah, it does.
The internet tells it all.
It does. Do you have anything else that you could throw into the pot so we can stir it up?
Honestly, I
People
think
thinking.
Yeah.
We won't say that. We'll say we're getting people thinking.
I think we've touched base on a lot of the big differences between burials and cremations, and the big thing between is the funding for it.
Yeah.
I know cremation is going to be a lot more affordable for a lot more families, but there is still a huge difference in cost of cremation place to place.
Right.
Some places again charge high 600s, and
Yeah.
some charge 4,000 or 5,000 for direct cremation. It's always, it just depends on where you go and who you speak to. But everything should be listed on the general price list nonetheless.
Yeah, that's good. I've got to thank Tryphina, Ms. Wiseman, for not only just being here, but when she at least hears that a call is being made to the insurance guy, and she knows that I've got a company, not just one company, but I have several companies that she's dealt with. If I'm handling it, he says, "Well, go ahead and bury the guy. He's good for the money." So I appreciate that.
Well, on behalf of staff of Wiseman Mortuary and the staff of Cumberland Crematory, we thank you for having us.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully this has been an informative session for those that are listening, and please feel free to reach out to us for more details, or if you would like to have our specialists come up and set up a seminar for a group that you may have, please feel free to reach out.
They can come go to Wiseman, or you
Yeah.
could come by here or get your questions to me on Facebook, whatever works for you. But I'm not going to be the person that's going to bury you, because what I'll do is give you a shovel. But I will direct you
Right.
to Try Wiseman on that. And again,
and folk are afraid to come into the funeral home. We do email.
How about that?
We
How about
do
that?
email. We'll email you the information. Yes.
they won't talk about it. They won't go in there.
Right. Yes.
That's why nothing gets done. My mom doesn't want to talk about it.
Right.
Somebody's going to have to.
Somebody's going to have to talk about it. But now in the world of internet and email, we'll be glad to forward it to you.
Goodness
Yes.
gracious. Production, how do we stand here today?
You're good at 36 minutes.
36 minutes?
Very good.
That's not very good.
No, it's very good.
Oh, really?
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we gave a lot of information.
They told me.
36.
They tell me what,
Yeah.
what's
I think we
going
gave a lot of information.
Yeah.
You
Well,
make
that's-
it too long. If folk are already afraid of death, they're going to cut it off.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about that, and they'll cut it off.
Oh yeah, and then like with cremation, I know like I don't know if it's something I need to touch on. A lot of people think that we put a lot of people in at the same time. I don't know if you need to.
You should have said that.
The show's mortician. That's what the guy did. He would sit there and
A good question to answer.
You can still, I'm still rolling.
Yeah, we're still
Yeah,
rolling.
go ahead. Go ahead. Part two.
Part
We got a
two,
part
testing,
two.
testing.
And the question came up during cremation, can you put 3 or 4 people in the fire? Now, I'm using this term loosely, and people are saying, why is he saying that? Well, you don't know me. So, and then that's why I have professionals here to clean up my act. So with that being, Alexis, would you clean it up for me?
Absolutely. So with cremation, there is only one person in the machine. It's called a retort. There's only one person in the retort at a time. That is the legal requirement. It's the moral requirement. I know a lot of shows. There's a certain TV show that's out right now that has gave a lot of people a lot of concern. That is not the standard, nor is it the legal mark at all. So you can rest assured, each person when the cremation takes place, it is you and yourself at a time. I'm not going to be putting 2 in. That's too much on my back.
So the beneficiary
yes.
can be there when it happens?
Yeah, so we actually have a viewing window for our cremation
Son of a
that
gun.
you are able to watch
There
us
you go.
place your loved one into the retort. We actually have families that come in and help us place them in the retort. I walk you through the process. It's a little loud at the back, so I usually yell you through the process. But we let them do everything, and we can
And families are allowed to actually push the button to start.
Push the button. Isn't that something? So when you tell that person go to hell, you can be there. You can be there.
We've had a few fun songs play. But yeah, and so families are able to be there from the start to the finish. Everyone goes, typically for a direct cremation, everybody is placed in a cardboard cremation container to be placed into the machine. We actually just had a family recently. It was the last viewing. They came in, they viewed their loved one, and I had a bunch of Sharpies laid out. And there was not an inch of the box that was not covered with words of love, words of prayer. So they're able to sit there and put their last notes literally into the flames.
Son of a gun.
And so you're able to write notes, put a teddy bear. We've had somebody pour a can of Hennessy or a jar of Hennessy into a little Ziploc baggie. That way we couldn't put the glass in, but we were able to put that in with them. That way through the cremation, they had everything they loved. And it's just something fun to be able to know that we're providing a service that allows people to come together and do those last things as a family and as friends.
Isn't that something? She said something fun.
Yes.
Fun. Now, Tryphina already knows that. She's getting me. So that's not a problem. She's just waiting on time. So that's a good situation. So I do.
And I would like to
And
say that.
I can't wait.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you can. TV, TikTok, the internet. There's a lot of things out there related to funerals, and a lot of that is entertainment. But I do want to put it out that we are regulated.
yes.
The crematory and the funeral home are both regulated by the North Carolina Board of Funeral Service in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
One last, the question about suicide. Anything under 2 years, nothing's going to get paid.
Correct.
After 2 years, you can shoot yourself. Anything you want to do, you're good. You're good to go. So
Yeah, that's the fine print in the policy.
yeah, that's a fine.
the
It's really not
print.
fine print. Yeah, people, but people ask me that question.
Yeah.
Can I? Well, are you thinking about something here?
Yes.
You know. So anyway, but we're good. I'm over
you.
and out. This has been exciting for me, and I hope we didn't lose too many people. I hope we didn't lose anyone
Wonderful.
with this session. And I said at the beginning, if we need to come back for part 2, we'll come back for part 2. Just write your questions or whatever. But one thing's for certain, we will be back and go from there. But over and out. Thank you again.
Thank
for
you.
it,
Thank
and I really appreciate it. Hope you get some business.
We're a little busy at the moment.